You're listening to Catholic Chicago. Ahead, the Archdiocese of Chicago brings you programs about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Welcome to Catholic Chicago.
Good morning. Welcome to Catholic Chicago on WNDZ 750 AM, 312-255-8408. You can also catch us on youtube.com/Catholic Chicago. I'm Father Greg Sakowitz, the rector of Holy Name Cathedral, and co-host Mark Teresi, executive director of the cathedral. Good morning, Mark. How are you?
Good morning. Very good. Very good. It was so nice. The liturgy yesterday, the Holy Name, honoring Mother Cabrini's 75th and the Holy Year. Wow. What a lady, huh?
And Bishop Mark Bartosa gave a marvelous homily, tremendous crowd, a lot of people.
Very challenging, very challenging. And what a woman. What a woman. She really revolutionized.
She was feisty in the best sense. She was about the people of God.
She sure was.
How was your weekend?
It was good. Our James Mark had his first birthday party. And
I like that, James Mark.
Oh, yeah, I call him J. Mark.
J. Mark.
And
for his birthday party on Friday?
What a joy, what a joy. On Saturday, what a joy. He's just full of energy, smiles. He loves going to people. I mean, he's just a good little guy. It was fun.
When you see a child that age, and you remember your own children at that age, when you were raising them, and how quickly the years have gone by.
Oh, yeah. And then our little Maddie, who I want to shout out to Maddie. She had fallen a while ago, had a concussion, and she went to Lurie's on Friday for her final exam, and everything is fine.
Thank God.
So Maddie's 4 years old. We went for lunch, and it's just, grandkids are a joy, just a joy.
And they grow up so quickly. Mm-hmm. And also noticed a huge difference in temperature coming this morning to the studio.
Oh, it's freezing.
Well, here it is, December. In fact, say Happy St. Nicholas Day.
Yes.
December
Did you put
6th.
your shoes out?
I'm tired of cold. And also the Chicago Bears yesterday.
Oh, don't even bring it up. Let's keep going.
Arizona's good. They're a great football team, and the Bears are a long way from being a winner.
Right.
They got some, good personnel, but a lot of injuries, and they have to just put it all together.
You're going to have to start talking about the Bulls.
The Bulls are tough.
Mm-hmm.
The Bulls are, beat the Knicks. They beat the Brooklyn Nets. And they're very competitive. They are a playoff team. Are they the best in basketball? Probably not. Are they competitive every night in, night out? They are a tough team on both ends of the court. Tremendous program lined up again, 312-255-8408. Vicki, Quade, back by popular demand, late night catechism, and the list goes on and on and on. Author, movie critic. Vicki, welcome to the program this morning. How are you, Vicki?
Hey, I'm fine. How are you?
Good. You look terrific. We're so used to you all these years in studio, and the last couple of times have been via phone, but thanks to Michael and Brian and Javi have now live streaming. And again, you can get us on youtube.com/Catholic Chicago. And Vicki, you're looking younger than ever.
It's because I don't watch the Bear games.
Yeah.
I don't get all stressed out.
It's a source of stress. Exactly.
That's You're very, very, very smart to go along that way. So what's the latest going on with you? Are you the author of a brand new book?
I am. Oh, my goodness. Yes.
What's the name of the book?
I have a book out. Well, I always keep a copy by my desk. It's Close Encounters of a Chicago Kind.
I like that. Close Encounters of a Chicago Kind. What is it about now?
Well, we were all inside during the pandemic, and I am an active mind. I'm an active person, an active mind, and I thought I've got to do something during this pandemic. And so I wrote this book, and it is a compilation of kind of interesting encounters that I've had over the years with people in Chicago. And a lot of them were on Facebook. And then I took them off Facebook and expanded them for this book. And so it's kind of a day in the life of. So like it's when I go to the bank or the post office, or if I'm driving my car, or if I'm traveling, I'm at the airport. It's the wacky sort of people that you see, and we all see them. I just tend to stop and really pay attention to them.
Now, give us an example of a chapter or an individual you're talking about.
Oh my goodness!
From the
one
book.
of my favorites from the book. Oh yeah, one of my favorites is the woman who was at the bank. So she came up to the teller, and here it is. Here it is. So it says here, standing in line at Chase to make a simple deposit, I get behind a woman, maybe in her 50s, who is holding onto a large cloth bag. She's dressed in a sort of a chic boho outfit, dark pants, colorful shirt, something you'd pick up if you were vacationing in some coastal city with tourist shops and shell beads. She looks around, catches my eye, nods. Then there's this exchange. The teller, can I help you? The woman, very loudly, I want to take $45,000 out of my savings and put 10,000 of that into my checking. The rest I'll take in cash. Now I could continue reading this.
Wow.
This actually happened. I was in line behind her, and I thought, oh my God. First of all, what's her story that she's taking $45,000 out in cash? And why is the bank not putting her at that moment, into a private office?
Right.
But instead, she was standing in front of me. So she turns around and says, I'm living like a drug dealer, everything in cash. There's a pause in the normal chatter. Literally everybody's standing behind us. We're staring at her. I tell her, I'm sorry that's happened to you. She looks at me with a very friendly face and reaches out to tell me more. She starts coughing, and it turns into a sort of fit that she can't get out of. I reach into my purse and hand her a hard candy. The woman says, I cough when I'm nervous, and I've been nervous a lot lately. I find another one, a butterscotch. I give it to her. She says, my husband, the bum, took cash out of our account, 70,000 here, 80,000 there, all in Bitcoin, untraceable. And she is now on her own.
Wow.
And he has run off. The husband has run off.
Wow.
And left her. And she is now establishing a new life in Chicago. And I actually asked her, would you like an escort? I mean, I'd be happy to walk with you to where you're going.
Yes, exactly.
Because everyone in that bank knows that she's carrying in a bag $35,000.
Right. And she's not thinking about that.
Encounter.
Did they actually give her $35,000 over the counter?
She walked out with $35,000 in cash. Yes, she did.
Now,
is that dangerous?
Have you ever thought with this book that there could be a play? I mean, that's a vignette.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, I would say if you could turn those vignettes into a play, it'd be something people would be fascinated with.
Because it's the stuff of everyday life. Because
real life, yeah.
You look at the money, but what's behind the money? The husband left. She's starting all over again. Here's also something very interesting. We talk about, what a chance encounter with an individual. And, it goes back to that great word, coincidence. Oh, what a coincidence how we met. And to me, a great definition I heard is, a coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. A coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous, which is so true.
Vicki, is that your first book?
No, I've written other books, but this is my first book in a long time. It's just that I got into writing other things. I got writing theater. I have about 14, 15 plays. But it's that the theaters had closed down during the pandemic.
Right.
And I wanted to do something. So I wrote this book.
How do people find the book?
Oh, it's published here in Chicago. It has an actual publisher called Eckhartz Press, Eckhartz, Eckhartz Press, and they have a lot of wonderful books.
So Vicki
I'm
Quade,
really happy.
Encounters of a Chicago Kind.
Close Encounters of a Chicago Kind. Right.
Close Encounters of a Chicago Kind. Eckhart Press, and they can go. I presume they can go on Amazon. Is it at Barnes and Noble?
It's on Amazon as a Kindle book.
Okay, excellent.
So you can get the Kindle version on Amazon, but if you want an actual hard copy, then you have to order it through Eckhartz Press.
Now that Chicago is back to some degree, Vicki, give us your best thinking on what plays in Chicago need to be seen by us now to
plays or movies
to rejuvenate our spirits.
Well, we can talk about plays. There's some wonderful plays. For the first thing I would really recommend people do is realize that you can be safe within the theater, that every theater is requiring that people are vaccinated. And every theater, you have to wear your mask inside. And a lot of the theaters that I've gone into are still doing some social distancing.
And remind people, too, that like at the Goodman, they want to see your vaccination card. You can't just tell them
Absolutely.
You're vaccinated. So bring that with if you're going to the theater. But go ahead, Vicki.
Right. And the thing is, if you don't have a card, and I know a lot of people who don't have that card, but you can get something from wherever you got the shot. A lot of it's at Northwestern, and just have them send you something. You can email it, put it on your MyChart, whatever, and then just take a picture of it.
Right.
If you take a picture, every theater will look at what you have on your phone.
Exactly.
So that's you don't. If you say, "Oh, I don't have a card," you don't really need a card. You just need proof that you've had the vaccination. And I've been triple vaxxed, so my card has 3, and if it has 10, I'd be happy.
When did you get your booster shot?
I got my booster shot in mid-August because
that long ago?
I just happened to go that very week to get a checkup at my doctor. I hadn't seen my doctor in person in a year and a half. So I made the appointment just to check up. And she said to me, the FDA is going to approve booster like today or tomorrow. So you can get yours.
Did you have any side effects on? Did you have any side effects on any of the 3 shots?
It was approved. It was approved like the next day, and I just called Walgreens and said, I got the Moderna. Can I get a booster? And they're like, oh yeah, sure. So I went and got the full Moderna. Like now they're giving 50%. So
right.
Yes, I came home, and I felt like I had a terrible headache. You know how you feel when you think you're getting the flu?
Oh, yeah.
You just feel icky.
Yeah.
That's how I felt, but only for about 8 hours.
The only side effect I had on the booster shot was the next day I had a craving for Purina dog chow. Is that normal? Mark, take us to break.
Maybe for you.
That's a great line. We're
going to end this program with Vicki now.
We'll go to music. We'll go to music.
45 minutes.
WNDZ 750 AM, Catholic Chicago, 312-255-8408. You can go to youtube.com/Catholic Chicago with Vicki Quade. When we come back, let's get Vicki's take on those plays that we should be seeing, movies that we should be seeing. What about fun in Chicago at Christmas time? We'll talk with Vicki in a few minutes. Please stay tuned.
As you think about year-end contributions, we at Catholic Charities thank you for considering a donation. 100% of every donation goes directly to our charitable work. Every donation allows us to continue to offer programs and services that affirm, strengthen, and empower those we serve as they work toward becoming self-sufficient. We are financially independent from the Archdiocese of Chicago, and we are proud of our Platinum Guide Star rating as a nonprofit. For more than 100 years, Catholic Charities has been helping homeless, hungry, and troubled neighbors in Cook and Lake counties. We would be honored to have your support in our 2021 year-end appeal. Visit CatholicCharities.net to donate or call 312-948-6087. The number again is 312-948-6087. Thank you for being partners with us in the mission of Catholic Charities.
I feel special. I feel great. I got good grades.
We've seen a huge surge in our kids now meeting or exceeding grade level. Come check us out. You may have never thought we were an option before.
Ancestry and genealogy are more important every day. People all over the world are wanting to learn more about their family heritage for personal and for health reasons. At Catholic Charities, we are hearing from adults who lived for a brief time at St. Vincent's Orphanage, the wonderful life-affirming agency that operated out of our headquarters for 91 years, serving thousands of women, children, and families until it closed in 1972. Our post-adoption services help adults who want to learn more about their experience at St. Vincent's. Our compassionate staff members provide whatever family background information they can offer, along with support and reunion services. To learn more, call 312-655-7093. That's 312-655-7093. The spirit of St. Vincent's lives on in the inspiring stories that continue to emerge today.
We're back. Catholic Chicago, WNDZ, 750 AM on your dial, 312-255-8408, or you can go to youtube.com/Catholic Chicago. Father Greg Sakowitz, Mark Tracy here with Father Greg.
Is that a new jacket you're wearing?
It's the same old jacket.
That's what I thought.
I know. That's why you brought it up. Vicki Quade is our guest. I would call her a Renaissance woman. She is a woman for all seasons. And this season, you know, we were talking before the break about your recommendation, plays, movies. The other thing I want to add to that discussion, especially since you had mentioned, you know, we were cooped up during COVID. What about streaming recommendations? That's the new phenomenon now, I think, for folks. We were a generation brought up with every week you had to watch to get to the next part of a series. And
on
now
TV.
now you can stream. So those are three broad topics, Vicki. Jump in, pick whichever one you would like.
Oh, no. I mean, we can talk about streaming. I streamed last year. I did Christmas bingo in July as a fundraiser for the nuns on Michigan Avenue because their shop was broken into.
Yeah.
And then I did a Christmas bingo later in the year. I streamed Holy Ghost bingo. We went to the theater and filmed a 1-hour version.
Oh wow.
And I put other things up to stream, but honestly, I have to say, I got really tired of watching the streaming performances. Mm-hmm. I watched and supported somebody at least twice a weekend where people would be streaming things. And I just, it made me actually long for the in person. It really did. But there's a lot of stuff that you can still stream. And there's a lot of wonderful movies out now on Netflix related to the holidays. If you don't have Netflix, there's just movies in general that are out now.
What about Hallmark, where you can predict the beginning, middle, and end of the movie?
That's right. Let's write one right now. I bet in 10 minutes we could write a Hallmark movie. That's exactly right. But again, it isn't like I'm trying to force people out. I think the spirit of the holidays is to connect with other people. I mean, that's the joy of your celebration. So I love, like you asked, what are some of the things to do? I've already gone to the zoo lights. I went right away.
Was that Lincoln Park or Brookfield?
I went to the Lincoln Park one,
Okay.
but the Brookfield one is also fabulous. And you might as well go now while global warming still keeps the weather pretty nice in the evenings. I mean, it isn't like the old days when it was so bitter cold that you'd have to be running
if you look at it,
to see some animals.
October was wonderful. November was above average. Even the first few days in December have not been bad at all.
No.
And it's interesting, our lives a year ago till now. I remember a year ago for Thanksgiving and Christmas, did not see my family because of distancing. And so did not see them. So this year saw family for Thanksgiving. We'll see for Christmas. However, the numbers are going back up again with COVID-19, and people are again getting a bit scared. Now, fewer people, thank God, are dying, but the numbers are going up, and so it's keeping people or hesitating about going to wedding receptions, about going to movies, about going to family gatherings, because the numbers keep rising again.
Right. Zoo lights is great, though, because you're outside, for one thing.
Well, that's true, yeah.
You know, but the other this is just an aside, a short aside, but 7 years ago, almost on this day, and 4 granddaughters ago, our son proposed to his wife at Zoo Lights. He talked to the ice sculptor guy.
Wow.
And they were able to put the ring in an ice sculpture. He unveiled the ice sculpture with his wife, future wife, not knowing. He called her up to take the box off, and there was her engagement ring in the ice sculpture at Zoo Light. So that's always a fond memory. But also, it's outside. What else, Vicki?
Right.
What else do you recommend?
Right. Well, even though it's inside, the Museum of Science and Industry has the Christmas Around the World. And it's such a huge museum that I think you could easily socially distance in there. So I have not done that yet, but that's on my list to do.
Does the
also
Vicki?
Chris Kindle Market.
Let me ask you: does the Chicago Historical Society, the one over on Clark, is that still showing the Great Chicago Fire? Do you know offhand? The fire was back in October, and I knew they were going to run the Great Chicago Fire.
Might be.
And I'm not sure how that's running, how long it is.
Is that a Christmas tradition for you to go see the Chicago Fire?
While he's eating dog food.
How uplifting.
Yeah, really,
Wow.
really.
The destruction of Chicago.
He's on COVID and the Chicago Fire.
This is outdoors.
This is our Christmas show.
What an... What are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, really. Any good wakes lately you've been to?
What are your thoughts about the Titanic?
Oh, we digress. Sorry, Vicki.
No, I'm just imagining.
We're totally lost in here.
The celebration in Father Greg's home. What are his decorations?
Maybe I'm off my
I'm a little
medication.
scared now.
Okay, I'll go take some more medication.
We'll turn his mic off. Vicki, it's all yours. We'll turn his mic off.
Well, so here's another thing that is true. A year ago, for Thanksgiving, I was doing Zoom connections with my family. I remember last Christmas, my son came over during the morning, and my daughter came over in the afternoon. So that they really did try to protect me, which was lovely,
Yes.
But this year, I think we all feel because we're vaccinated, we can be together. So I am planning to have a family open house, which will be nice. And then last year, we didn't do our normal regular tea. We always do tea at the Drake or another. We've done the Palmer House. Last year, we did it at home. I just created a tea. And creating a tea is so easy. That's another thing people could do. Instead of going out, if they fear going out to a place like the Drake, and you can save money and you can do it yourself, but it's just a nice Sunday afternoon. Turn on the music, get some nice tea, get some little cakes, and have your close
Vicki,
family.
talking about the
over.
plays and all that, what productions are presently showing that you have created, and where?
Oh, that I've created. I still have Late Night Catechism.
Now, where's that showing?
It's at all my shows are at the Greenhouse Theater Center at 2257 North Lincoln Avenue.
And what is showing right now at Greenhouse?
The Greenhouse, and it's Late Night Catechism and Christmas Bingo, which is in its 10th year. Late Night's in its 28th year, and Christmas Bingo's in its 10th year. And then on December 20th, I'm doing Christmas Bingo at the Metropolis Performing Arts Center in Arlington Heights. So for people who live out in the suburbs, they can see the show
So
there.
Late Night Catechism is in its 28th year already?
Yes.
That's amazing, going back to the mid-'90s.
When you say you're doing Christmas Bingo at Metropolis, which is a beautiful venue, we've been to weddings there.
Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Are you going to be Sister?
Yep, I'm on stage.
Oh.
So I'll be on stage. I've done it there, oh my goodness, a number of times. And it generally sells out. So if people are interested, they really should get their tickets earlier. Because it's about a 300-seat house.
Is it metropolis.com?
Really well.
Metropolis.com? Where do they get the tickets?
Yeah, I don't know if it's metropolis.com. It's the Metropolis Performing Arts Center.
Okay.
I guess people will just have to look it up.
In Arlington Heights.
Yeah, what I would like to do is, Mark will take us to break, but when we come back, Vicki, the fact you've been doing the Late Night Catechism for 28 years and many times you've been personally performing, think back during the break, 1 or 2 or 3 moments where even on stage you lost it, like I lost it a few minutes ago laughing, where you just had somebody come up to the stage as part of your Late Night Catechism and you just totally lost it. Some real funny, memorable moments.
She never lost it. She's a professional.
Unlike me.
That's right, Mark.
Take us to break, Mark.
Vicki agreed with me. WNDZ 750 AM, Catholic Chicago, 312-255-8408, or you can go to youtube.com/Catholic
And Mark, say
Chicago.
goodbye to our listeners for your last
when
program.
When we come back, we'll hear Vicki Quade's ideas about the funny moments, but we'll also continue with Father Greg's wonderful Christmas traditions. We'll be back.
We can talk about maybe some
God bless.
Some catastrophe.
At Catholic Charities, we fight hunger in Chicago throughout the year. Our 6 regional offices in Cook and Lake counties work together to offer sit-down and to-go meals to anyone in need. We deliver meals to those who are homebound, and our 8 food pantries offer 3 to 4 days of food supplies based on household size. Participants in these programs have the opportunity to learn about other Catholic charity services that strengthen individuals, families, and their communities. The challenges for those dealing with food insecurity are especially great during the winter months. To learn how you can help those who are hungry in your neighborhood, Visit CatholicCharities.net or call 312-655-7525. That's 312-655-7525. Thank you for your generosity.
We are at the Most Blessed Trinity Parish Food Pantry in Waukegan.
And here we care for people in need. There was definitely an uptick in the needs for services.
We doubled our volume after COVID hit, from servicing about 250 families a week to about 500 a week. We supply bread, tortillas, vegetables, milk, cheese, butter, proteins, fish, chicken, eggs.
Well, the annual Catholic Appeal has been a tremendous help to us, especially over the past year and a half.
Without the annual Catholic Appeal, we might have to close our doors. Our parish is the largest one in the Archdiocese, but is very poor. We think about food and we think about nourishment, but we also nourish the soul, provide that connection to humanity.
The good works here are made possible through the Annual Catholic Appeal. Make your gift at annualcatholicappeal.com.
Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Catholic Charities has continued to respond to the needs of people who come to us for assistance. More than 850,000 meals and food parcels have been offered to those who are struggling with food insecurity. Over 108,000 homelessness prevention hotline calls have been answered. Over 22,000 people have received mental health services, and $2 million in financial assistance has been provided to keep people housed. If you or someone you know needs assistance, email us at gethelp@catholiccharities.net. That's gethelp@catholiccharities.net. Or call 312-655-7700. That's 312-655-7700. Before, during, and after COVID-19, Catholic Charities is here for you.
You're listening to Catholic Chicago. Ahead, the Archdiocese of Chicago brings you programs about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Thanks for letting us be part of your morning. Now again, Catholic Chicago.
We're back. WNDZ 750 AM, Catholic Chicago, 312-255-8408, or you can go to youtube.com/Catholic Chicago. Father Greg Sakowicz, Mark Teresa here joining Father Greg. We have a great guest, Vicki Quade, who is trying very hard to make this a festive program in spite of Father Greg's terrible examples of what to do at Christmas. Anyway, before the break, we were talking, Vicki, about your experiences on stage in late night catechism. Anything come to mind? Something that really kind of almost disarmed you?
Were you totally lost it?
Well, first of all, I did want to say during the break, I looked up to see if that festive Chicago City on Fire exhibit was at the Chicago History Museum, and I think it might still be there.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
So people, if you really desire a different kind of celebration of the burning down of our fair city, yes. You can certainly go and see that.
Father Greg will be there to sign autographed pictures.
Okay, children. You. Okay, children. Take a bus tour.
Let's gather around the fire. Anyway, Vicki,
exactly.
Go ahead.
And then I thought maybe because that's north side, maybe on the south side, there's the H.H. Holmes serial killer that Father Greg could put together. That's festive as well.
He'll put that in his Christmas letter.
A bus tour.
Exactly. The bus tour, right.
Go ahead, Vicki.
Right. And the mobsters, like you could do a little thing where, Al Capone lived and things like that. The festive history of Chicago.
Put you in the real
but no.
Christmas mood.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Vicki.
Make you feel really warm.
Your turn,
warm-hearted.
Your turn.
Okay, so I will say that I want to say something that happened on Saturday. I was doing Christmas bingo, and there were 5 women who were completely dressed up like fabulous. They had Christmas sweaters and jingle bells, and I had to bring them up because I do a bit where I do 5 Gabriels and we recreate the Annunciation in different ways. So like we do the actual biblical, we do a more modern, we do a Western in the voice of Matthew McConaughey. We do a little a rap from Hamilton, the kind of Hamilton rap Annunciation. And so it's just a lot of fun. But these women came up, and I always ask names, like, what is your name? And they told me their names, and my stage manager wrote down the names so that I would have it if I wanted to post any information about them. And it turned out they lied.
Oh,
The lie was not discovered until the next day when I did post a photo of them on my website. They looked adorable. I mean, they really did. And I named the names they gave me. But a dear friend of mine who happened to be friends with one of them said, "Oh, hey, Jill, I see that you went to see Christmas Bingo." And I thought, Jill? That wasn't the name. So I started doing a little Facebook investigation yesterday, and I found every one of those women.
You did?
I did, on Facebook. Thank you, Facebook. And I sent them a really funny, the wag of the finger. You lied.
That is
a venial sin.
That's right. Oh, that is funny. And that just happened last
really
Saturday.
Fun. Yes. That was just Saturday night, and it was just a lot of fun.
Well, I get the impression in all your years, Vicki, that your writings of the plays, of books, even your newest book, it somehow is a way for you to bring out the very best of you, a chance to be creative, a chance to really take the gifts from God and share with others. Because even during the pandemic, you're always looking for ways to bring people together in different ways, but also the lighter side of life. In words, to look at the human situation, in some ways, don't take yourself too seriously. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and you're right about even with my Close Encounters of a Chicago Kind, it is seeing people for who they really are, and not judging people, but just sort of letting people reveal themselves. I think that often happens on stage when I get people to come up. I don't force people to come up. Mm-hmm. If you want to come on stage and be part of the whole thing, you can. And I think a lot of people will do that. They will come up because they have a real curiosity about what it's like to be the center of attention.
Well, it's interesting that your books, your plays, your writings deal with the very stuff of life, the extraordinary, but through the ordinary, the everyday things of life that we just take for granted. You're able to put a twist on it, for all of us to be able to kind of laugh at ourselves sometimes, because I've said in homilies, we take ourselves too seriously, we worry too much, we stress too much. Lighten up. There's a great line that says it takes 15 muscles to smile and 75 muscles to frown. So we should learn to smile more than frown.
Now, maybe related to that, because there is so much humor, but there's a lot of respect and reverence in terms of the religious that you display through your play. How did the religious women in your life, first of all, who were they, and how did they impact you to be this free in expressing yourself about them in a respectful but a humorous way?
Well, I was raised on the southwest side of Chicago, and when I went, so we were friends. My parents were friends with the nuns and the priest at St. Albert, the great parish.
Sure.
The nuns were Adrian Dominicans, and so I grew up seeing nuns. But when you're little and you see women dressed completely in white, they wore white habits. Mm-hmm. I didn't know were they angels? Were they humans? They spoke to me. I really had a hard time initially trying to figure out who they were, because nobody ever says, oh, this is a woman who's devoted her life to God and to the faith. And nobody explains that to a little kid. So there you are, just trying to figure it out. But I grew up in a car culture. We all did, I'm sure. And we had an extra car, and my parents allowed the nuns to borrow that car anytime they wanted to. So they would walk. It was only a mile or so. They would walk to our home to get then they would just knock on the door. Always two women, never just one. Knock on the door, the window sometimes. My mother would say, here, you can take the keys and give it to the nuns. So I got to know them, because they were, the nuns were always stirring the pot for new members, Oh, maybe she's interested, and I'd be like, no. I seriously would like, they were always, looking for new converts.
But now, was there ever a time in your life when you thought about being a religious sister?
When I was in, I want to say maybe it had to be second grade, because the school I went to had 3 separate doors. First, second, third graders went in one door. Fourth, fifth, sixth graders in the other door, and the 7th and 8th graders went in the center. And our door, when I was that young, was right by the convent. And my friends at St. Albert said, go knock on their door. Go knock on the door. And we'd knock on the door, and then we'd run back in line. And the nuns, of course, would answer. There'd be nobody there. We thought that was the funniest thing in the whole world. But one day I knocked on the door, and the nuns answered. And I was standing there terrified. And they invited me in. They showed me around. They thought for sure I must be interested. The entire time inside was saying, dear God, let me get out. I'll never see my family again. They won't know where I'm at. I'm lost forever. And I just begged God to let that door open so I could run out. And I never knocked on their door again. So the answer is no. I did not think about being a nun. Although I love the nuns. I really do.
What about high school? Where were you? Where did you go to high school?
I went to 3 different high schools. I went to Queen of Peace, also in Burbank on the southwest side. But then I switched over and I went to Revis, because Revis had more opportunities for theater and for writing. It was just a larger school. But then my mother wanted me to go to Jones downtown. Jones Commercial.
Yeah.
She thought I was going to go and be an office worker, but I my whole life wanted to be a writer. So I knew that. I knew I was going to I was not going to just work in an office.
The whole thought of being a writer goes back to childhood and high school.
Childhood. I mean, my little brother is 6 years younger than me, and I can remember creating stories for him when he was like 2 years old. Wow. So here I am, 8, 9 years old, and being very creative. No, very, very early.
And you're a Loyola grad, correct? Loyola.
I'm not.
Oh, you're not. Where?
I'm not. I graduated from Northern Illinois University.
Oh, okay. Out in DeKalb there. Sure.
With a degree in journalism. Oh. And I was a journalist, worked as a journalist for years.
That's amazing. Ironically, even Mark and Vicki, I thought about being a priest back in first grade.
Really?
First thought of being first grade. So with that thought, Mark, take us to break.
WNDZ, 750 AM, Catholic Chicago, 312-255-8408. You can go to youtube.com/Catholic Chicago and hear Father Greg Sakowicz, Mark Tracy here working with Father Greg, Vicki Quade. In our next segment, let's talk a little bit more about some Christmas opportunities that will bring joy to the season. In other words, we'll just be talking to Vicki, Father Greg. We will not be including you. Thank you. We'll be back in a few minutes.
My mic will be off.
Catholic Charities Veterans Employment Services help veterans find and maintain employment through job readiness training, resume writing assistance, mock interviews, and job placement counseling. We work with a wide array of employers and community partners to help veterans reach their career goals. We owe a debt of gratitude to all of our veterans for the sacrifices they made to serve our nation. It is our privilege now to assist them. To learn more about Catholic Charities Veterans Employment Program in Cook County, call 773-808-2954. In Lake County, call 847-782-4219. You can also learn more at CatholicCharities.net. To all United States veterans, thank you for your service.
I feel special. I feel great. I got good grades.
We've seen a huge surge in our kids now meeting or exceeding grade level. Come check us out. You may have never thought we were an option before.
As you think about year-end contributions, we at Catholic Charities thank you for considering a donation. 100% of every donation goes directly to our charitable work. Every donation allows us to continue to offer programs and services that affirm, strengthen, and empower those we serve as they work toward becoming self-sufficient. We are financially independent from the Archdiocese of Chicago, and we are proud of our Platinum Guide Star rating as a nonprofit. For more than 100 years, Catholic Charities has been helping homeless, hungry, and troubled neighbors in Cook and Lake counties. We would be honored to have your support in our 2021 year-end appeal. Visit CatholicCharities.net to donate or call 312-948-6087. The number again is 312-948-6087. Thank you for being partners with us in the mission of Catholic Charities.
Back, Catholic Chicago, WNDZ, 750 AM on your dial 312-255-8408, or you can go to youtube.com/Catholic Chicago. Father Greg Sakowicz, Mark Tracy here with Father Greg, Vicki Quade, our guest. Maybe in this time we can talk a little bit about Christmas traditions. First of all, I want to make sure people know that the Late Night Catechism, Late Night Catechism is at the Greenhouse, 2257 North Lincoln Avenue. Look that up. Get a group going there. And then, Vicki, you're going to be doing Christmas bingo at the Metropolis in Arlington Heights. Look that up. You'll have a great, great evening. I thought maybe we could talk a little bit about Christmas traditions. I'll give you one, very brief one. Our oldest is 35 since he was a baby. Now through the kids and now the grandkids, we take a drive through Lincolnwood.
Oh, you do that?
And look at the lights.
Sure, beautiful
and
homes.
And then, go to Malnati's on Lincoln Avenue for pizza. We've been doing that for years. Vicki, what about Christmas traditions maybe that your family or that you now with maybe growing up or now with your family, what are some Christmas traditions that stand out for you?
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, I just want to add that Christmas bingo is also at the Greenhouse every weekend.
Okay, good.
Oh, good.
So
okay.
it's not just Late Night Catechism and Christmas bingo at the Greenhouse.
At 2257 North Lincoln Avenue.
Right, exactly.
Great.
And, I'm all, as a producer, I'm always in favor of people paying full price for tickets. But you can go on Hot Tix or Gold Star and get a half price ticket.
Okay, Gold
for
Star
those shows.
or Hot Tix.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can pay full price too, which I like. But if you're looking for a deal, Hot Tix or Gold Star are great.
Great.
Okay, Christmas traditions. Every year, we and I have 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
all adults now, obviously. Every year we would go to the Christmas Around the World. That was a big thing. We did zoo lights. We did a tea, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
We would also make gingerbread houses.
Oh,
and it's so easy because the like a half and half, just a container of half and half,
Sure.
is perfect. It's the perfect size for using the gingerbread to put on there
as a foundation.
And we would just use crackers, and then use kind of a white egg white paste, and do that, and then just decorate with candy and things like that. And you put it on a plate, just a paper plate, so we did that for years and years and years, and until the kids just got old. They're like, can we just do a cocktail party instead? Okay.
And the funny thing is, you wonder,
we'll
Vicki and Mark,
cocktails.
the traditions you've done in your home, how many will be passed on to their children and their children, the traditions from grandpa getting older, grandma, and how it's just passed on from generation to generation. Because this time of year, it's the inbreaking of God already into our midst. I love this season. But see, I always tell people, Advent puts speed bumps into our lives as a way to maybe hopefully slow us down and keep the whole season in perspective. Because we get so caught up with our Christmas cards and gift buying and running around. I've had more people say to me, I can't wait until December 26th. And I thought to myself, they've missed the whole point of the Advent Christmas season. You wait for it to be over. Well, Christmas is not over on December 26th. We have the whole Christmas season. So, and also, the other thing is how fast it goes by. I mean, you realize that Thanksgiving was almost 2 weeks ago. We're already into December 6th. We're going to blink, it'll be Christmas, and enjoy the gift of each day with family and loved ones, because it's so different from a year ago. So thank God we're getting back to some type of normalcy, but to really hold on to this, because many people I know have lost loved ones who are not going to be there this Christmas that were there a year ago.
Yep. Well, another tradition that I participated in, friends would always do cookie exchange. So that you'd have to make cookies, and that's always a fun thing to do with your family. Yeah. And then you exchange with other people, so you get a lot of really great cookies.
So if you're going to snuggle by the fireplace at Christmas time and watch a favorite Christmas movie, which movie would you watch?
Well, a lot of the movies I think are going to start to be online, but I'm really looking forward to Being the Ricardos, the movie about Lucy and Desi. Have you seen the clips of that?
No, but Nicole Kidman's supposed to be Lucy, correct?
She's Lucy, and Javier Bardem is Desi.
Yeah.
And I've been watching a lot of clips of that, and it looks really wonderful.
How does she do? How does she do as Lucy?
She's great.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you always have to think you're not looking at Lucille Ball.
Right.
But, she has a little bit of prosthetics. They're trying to make her as much Lucy as they can, but her spirit seems really great.
Mark, was there a tradition in your family about a movie you watch as a family?
Well, It's a Wonderful Life, we'll always watch, but kind of the Christmas story is a huge hit with the kids.
Yeah,
we used to watch every year the sinking of the Titanic.
Yeah, yeah, in accord with your COVID and Chicago fire memories for Christmas. Yes,
I had a great childhood.
That's Greg's favorite.
What is that, Vicki?
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, it's a Christmas tradition. Anything New Year?
Did you ever see the movie Santa Claus Conquers the Martians?
No, is that out now? Is it out right now?
It's you can find it on YouTube. It's a 1964 film, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. I remember it from my childhood.
I never heard
I found
of
it on YouTube. It's so horrible. The $1.98 production value. but it's one of those so bad it's good, like it's laughably bad. So I mean, I think you got to watch that.
I never even heard of that movie. Did you, Mark?
No, is that maybe Svengoolie shows it?
Maybe Svengoolie, one of those.
Totally, it would be a Svengoolie movie. Yes, I actually like the Miracle on 34th Street, the original.
Right.
No, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's a great.
With Natalie Wood.
Yes.
Yeah, Natalie Wood, Edwin, Maureen O'Hara. That's a great film.
And also, I love the beautiful Christmas music from when we were children. You know, going back to the stuff of Bing Crosby and all those great artists who would sing all the Christmas carols in a very traditional way. That to me is what Advent and Christmas is all about. It sparks childhood.
I would think, now that we know a bit more about you, Father Greg, that maybe one of your favorites is that John Denver classic, Daddy, Please Don't Get Drunk This Christmas. That is an actual John Denver song.
Is it really? You have him nailed pretty well. Now on a little more serious note.
That is funny.
For your many, many fans and viewers, Vicki, any Christmas wishes that you might have for them as we begin to close our show?
Oh, my goodness. I really wish people reconnect. I think we have gone through so much this past year and a half, 2 years almost now, that people have forgotten what it's like to be around other people, and to have conversations, to have just that art of talking and sharing ideas and doing things together. Whether it's going out to a play or going to the zoo lights, or really, like you're saying, get in your car and drive around Lincolnwood. I totally know what you're talking about. I remember doing that many, many times. And I liked the house that had the actual stuffed reindeer.
In Lincolnwood.
On the lawn.
And
in Lincolnwood.
And the tree on all 3 floors.
Yes.
I think that might be the same house.
It could be the same house rather than Lincolnwood there.
Right. And, and if you're still concerned about the virus, you can do those kinds of things. Get in the car, drive around. You can drive if you don't. You can't drive through the zoo, but you can drive by the zoo if you don't want to go into the zoo lights.
Right. And I would also want to tell people, make an attempt to maybe get back to church. Look, the cathedral is very, very, very safe.
And
place to go.
And why don't you invite them for Friday to your concert?
This Friday we have the Rector's Cathedral Christmas program with Rich Daniels and the City Lights Orchestra. Mark, 7 o'clock? Take it from there.
7 o'clock, Sound of the Seasons. It's a live 45-piece orchestra. Greg hosts it for the community. It's free. It's free. Free will offering. Get on our website to reserve tickets. It's Greg's gift to our community, but then part of it is we're getting together again.
Exactly.
Vicki, to your point, we're doing the restrictions, but people are getting together to celebrate the sounds of the seasons. So
Friday at 7 p.m., we need to bring the program to a close. Vicki, I want to thank you in a very special way. I haven't laughed this hard in a long time. So to Vicki Quade for being a tremendous guest. You are such a natural gift to all of us.
You sure are.
Special thanks to Mark Teresi, co-host at your last program, Mark. So
thank you very much.
Sign off. Special thanks to our producer engineers, Michael May and Javi Garcia. And to all, may God bless all of you. Be safe. Blessed Advent week.
Join us every Monday through Friday at this time for Catholic Chicago. You can stream our programs live or listen to past programs by visiting our website, archchicago.org, and clicking on Radio TV. And please connect with Catholic Chicago on social media.